My name's Dave MacLeod. I studied physiology and sports science at Glasgow University and then returned for a master's in exercise science and then again for another master's in nutrition. And these days I'm a professional rock climber. Climbing just grabbed me so hard that I just loved doing it, and really all I was thinking about from when I started climbing at the age of 15 was my next climb. I just wanted to do more climbing and I wanted to get better at climbing, and really everything that I did was geared towards that, and so that's how I ended up choosing to come to university to study sports science. I didn't actually have a mind of being a professional rock climber. That was just something that seemed to just happen. It just seemed to be almost like kind of inevitability that I would have to find a way to make that work. Actually, one of the first stages was that when I was doing my undergrad degree, I received a small sports bursary from the university, which was really, really encouraging. It really helped me to actually think I could do this as a career. A lot of the rock climbing and ice climbing and mountaineering that I've done is potentially risky. Of course, only dangerous if you fall off or have some interaction with the objective dangers of mountains, which are avalanche and rockfall, things like that. So I spend a lot of time trying to minimise those risks and mitigate them, usually through training. Training is the mainstay of my preparation for climbing, my day-to-day training to become physically strong enough, to have physical endurance, to have mental resilience, and also just to have a plan, or actually multiple plans. I mean, rock climbing is kind of a game of getting yourself into trouble and then getting yourself out of trouble again. And the more plans you have, the more likely you are to be in one piece at the end of a climbing career. However, there is no way, I think, to become actually a safe climber without having a few scrapes, and so I did have plenty of those when I was growing up. Some were rather too close to the red line. A defining moment that I had was actually before I even studied at university, when I was starting to train and I got my first injury. And I remember going to my GP to ask about treatment for a finger injury from training my fingers to strengthen them for rock climbing. At first he told me to take months of rest, and then he just told me to take up a different sport. And it was the first time I had a little bit of independent thinking to think, there must be more to it than that. I thought, where can I find out more about this? And I thought of Glasgow University Library, and I actually came as a 16-year-old and tried to just walk into the library and realised that you couldn't do that. And I went to the university bookshop and I sat in the corner and read sports medicine textbooks, and I learned that there's a lot more to healing of sports injuries, and that led me from specific texts to the primary scientific literature, and that really was a world that was open to me quite an early age. People thinking about getting into outdoor pursuits and mountaineering and climbing can sometimes feel a little bit intimidated. A lot of climbers, like myself, started going to climbing walls, and I have noticed that people feel that mountains are something they're not qualified to do, or they have to have some sort of experience before they go and do it. Social media and the internet has made it a lot easier to find out basic fundamental information you need to know just by going onto YouTube and searching it and watching videos. That's a great resource that wasn't around when I started. One of the great things about climbing is that as long as you follow some basic rules of not going totally out of your depth, then there is a lot you can do. When I first went rock climbing, I didn't have any equipment at all. I just went up to a piece of rock and started to climb up, and I just had a basic rule of don't climb up anything you can't climb down. When I was first studying my undergrad, I often didn't speak up that much. One piece of advice would just be to not be afraid to talk to other students and tutors, because when I did do that, it was always valuable. I lived in Glasgow at my mum's house, and often after university, we would go to Glasgow Climbing Centre and train. The learning that I was doing in university, and I was putting it into practice in my own sport, and I was feeling the progress of that, and it's just a very exciting time where I felt that a lot of my kind of dreams in climbing were just beginning to be realised, and it was fantastic. So I think they are the strongest memories I've got. So I returned recently in my 40s to study nutrition at the university, and actually I saw a massive difference in the university that time. The buildings are marvellous now. They were just starting to change when I was doing my first degree, and the campus looks amazing now. It's a very inspiring place.